You know, these cases where you'll be there and you receive anonymous phone calls from individuals, and you are surprised because you are certain you haven't given your number to strangers. Sometimes you wonder whether your information is in the hands of someone. How secured are we in terms of that angle, especially speaking about the telcos?
This has always been a tricky question. When I can, I try to put things in proper perspective. There's always a tendency for people to believe that someone has given their information out. I think we should look at the bigger picture that you could also possibly have given that information out. I mean, the events you go to, the websites you visit, where you enter your information, there's this skill called web scraping, where people learn certain programming codes like Python, and they are able to write scripts that goes through social media portals and stuff and harvest this information for them. I mean, through a few more of information gathering techniques, you can actually harvest a lot of information about people's phone numbers that are out there. That is just to say that you cannot necessarily put, all the blames on the telco's doorstep. That, I mean, they don't even have time for that, honestly speaking, unless we're dealing with an insider threat. I mean, the telcos have serious businesses to do. But if you're dealing with an insider threat, that there's a possibility that an insider picked my information and gave it there, that is possible. But we need to look at it in the case-by-case basis. Mm-hmm. It cannot be the general situation that telcos give your information. I mean, to what end, to start with?
How about mobile money-related cyber threat? Because people lose a lot of monies. You'll be there and someone will say, I just received a text message, I just imputed an information, my PIN, and suddenly I've lost about 50,000 Ghana cedis because of just missed transaction.
Okay, so they've created procedures in which they address fraud. I have personally not been too excited about the turnaround when it comes to fraud. So sometimes you need about 48 hours for them to, reverse money. Sometimes, your money is gone. We are going to investigate it. I think that we could still bring in a few more things, and improve the technology in doing this sort of advanced tracking when it comes to fraudulent transactions. But look, fraudulent transactions or people defrauding others, I said earlier when you asked the question, and I mentioned social engineering, okay? They try to get you to part away with what you have by making you believe that you are speaking to somebody who is genuine. I've even heard stories where certain parties have claimed that just after they've done a transaction with an agent and they had left the place, they receive a call with similar information which made them believe that they're actually speaking to somebody from the MTN space. But I take one direction as a defense to all these things. If someone calls me and claims he's calling from MTN, I'd rather call MTN to confirm if you want me if you wanted to do anything with me. And I think it goes back to due diligence. It might vary from an individual to an individual. But cyber fraud is one of our problems. And if we want to start doing something right on the ground, our research and design from the authority point of view should be looking at how some of these things are perpetrated. All right. And then we build our defenses around it.